Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie. I am the Introverted Reader, and today's video we're doing a tag, but this tag is actually quite special because it's the 10 books challenge book tag. So it's basically given, the rules are list 10 books that have stayed with you in some way. Do not take more than a few minutes and don't think too hard. I'm guessing the whole idea was to be in front of your shelf and to just grab them at a whim, but we don't do that. I've got them right here. So these are 10 books that have stayed with me in some way or the other. So without further ado, let's get into it. Cheers, drink some water. Here we go. Right. The first little question. Sorry, you're propped up against my laptop, so I'm just scrolling. A book that made you think. That made you think about things, think about life, think about whatever. And I'm going to go with Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Klune, one of my favorite books of all time. This book does make you think quite a lot about life, about death, about grief, about just a whole bunch of things. It's quite hard-hitting. And for me, I will forever remember reading this because I was grieving myself at the time. I was buddy reading it with Amy, who was going through her own stuff. And both of us felt a real deep connection to this book because it makes you think about death, obviously. And like, if you were to die tomorrow, would you be able to go on to the next life or whatever that is, you know, with like no baggage, nothing keeping you here, and just like, yes, I did good. I did good in my life and I can move on to whatever it, and it, I need to reread it so bad. Like, I got just this normal regular hardback that I plan on rereading soon and annotating because I've got my Olympic Crate one and I don't want to destroy that. So I have this one. So yeah, this definitely made me think about things, about life and such with and such forth. So let me know as well any of these prompts for yourself, any books for yourself that made you think or whatever. The next one is a book that surprised me. There's quite a lot of books I've read over the years that have thoroughly surprised me, like books that I genuinely thought I wasn't gonna like, and then I read them and I'm like, okay, this is actually kind of amazing. And one of them is one that you're probably tired of me talking about, The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. I need to reread this as well and annotate it to filth, but I had seen this floating about maybe like a year or two ago. It was a fairy loot pick, and I was just like, oh, I don't know. And I was going away, you know, with my mom and my sister for a couple of days, and I didn't know what to bring with me to read. So I was just like, you know what? Let me get this on my Kindle, see what the fuss is. And I love this. The way I binged, like, it has been so long. It had been so long. Like, I was in a little bit of a slump reading wise. And I just picked this up, so I was like, it's young adult, it'll be easy to read, it'll be fun, it'll be fine, even if I don't like it, it'll be an easy read, whatever. I love this. I was obsessed. Like, it had been so long since I read it on my Kindle, obviously, so I'm just sitting like this with my Kindle, just in the dark, not being able to put it down, and I was just shocked and gooped and gagged and just everything, and I love it so much. I'm so thankful to this book for that. So scrolly down. A book that made me happy. Lots of books make me happy, but one in particular that made me really happy because I just recently reread it was Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston. Seriously, why does no one talk about this? Why does no one talk about this? I don't know why. Like, I read it years ago, obviously, when it came out. This was like, I want to say 2018. Let me just, 2018, I read it. I got it in an Owl Crate box. Look at these dusty, faded spray edges. I got this in an Owl Crate box way back then and read it, was obsessed. And I hadn't reread it in a whole long time. And I was like, is this gonna make me feel the same way as it did the first time? Yes, it did. I love this book so much. I don't know what I can possibly say to get all of you to read this, but yeah, that's amazing. Same with the other two. Like, the three that I've just mentioned, like, get on those, okay? And then on the other end of that, a book that made me sad. A book that made me sad, and I'm gonna go with A Boy Like Me by Simon James Green. This is his most, like, recent young adult. release, and whilst it did have a lot of uplifting moments in this book, there was a lot of uplifting moments in here. It is quite a really sad story because it's about a boy who is gay, but he's growing up in a time in England when Section 28 was in full effect. And basically, Section 28, pretty much in a nutshell, almost making homosexuality illegal, or if you like, promoted it in any way, it was illegal, something like that. Either way, Margaret Thatcher, homophobic bitch. Anyway, yeah, at the core of it, it did make me sad because, like, this is what queer people went through way back then, 1994. I was two. But, you know, and at the same time, it also made me sad to think about what queer people are dealing with today and how it's just messy. It's just, like, tears were shed. Tears were shed reading that. And if you haven't read that, by the way, you need to. The next one, I think I know a book that made me feel nostalgic. Do you know, I could probably go with The Prison Healer on this one. I could say Heart of Iron, but I'm gonna go with this. This is Chain of Gold, within the Shadowhunter world, but I just grabbed this. But like any Shadowhunter book, or any time a Shadowhunter book comes out, I just get this warm, fuzzy feeling in my stomach, you know, that just fills me up, and I'm like, oh, it's like reading a Shadowhunter book for me is like coming home at the end of a really long, horrible day and just curling up with a warm blanket and just being content and just in my little bubble and just, I love this series so much, and I feel like it's coming to an end. I feel like it's coming to an end very soon. I'm not ready for when she wraps up the Shadowhunter Chronicles, but at the same time, I'm just like, hurry up already. I need more. But yeah, the Shadowhunter books can definitely give me that warm, nostalgic feeling. Let me see. Scrolling down. A book I have a love/hate relationship with. Now, I think hate is a bit of a strong word because I don't hate this book. I don't hate it. I expected to really, really love it and gave it 5 stars, but I never did. And that is In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. This is the gorgeous Waterstones edition, by the way. And listen, there was a part of me that was going to unhaul this, but I'm like, I don't think I want to. Like, I think I just want to keep it. But the thing is, yeah, we all know I love TJ Klune. We all do, but this is definitely not my favorite of his works that he's come out with as of lately, because I mean, I have a full review for it on my channel, but my main issue was that I feel like it could have been shorter. You know, we could have gotten where we needed to go a lot sooner. You know, the romance between, you know, with the main character, I just wasn't, yeah, it was boring, if I'm being honest. I was pretty bored, but like there was themes within it that I did really, really like. You know, the whole like, because our main character was taken in as a baby by this man and raised as his own son. And you know, the whole like family doesn't have to be blood related, family can be who you choose and all that. And I love the chosen family trope. I love it. I lapped that up, but not my favorite TJ Klune. Would I say I hated it? No, absolutely not. Hate is definitely a strong word. The next one is a book I have reread the most. This is a throwback, okay? When I first started this channel, I was but like, it's Divine by Mistake by PC Cast, who is my favorite author of all time. I've owned this book, like, I think I first read this book when I was like 11 or 12, which way too young to be reading this because this is steamy. But like, this is a paranormal sort of romance fantasy type book about this woman called Shannon who gets teleported to this other world, and it's just oh, it's a bit wild. There's like Celtic mythology and stuff woven in here. There's obviously there's a romance. There's a lot of smut in here. I'll tell you that. And I've read and reread this book maybe 4 or 5 times in my lifetime. You wouldn't think with the way it looks, but I take care of my books, okay? See, like, I could show you books that I've owned for over a decade and they still look pristine because I take care of them. Anyway, but yeah, I've read this. I've read and reread this a whole bunch of times. I kind of want to reread it again at some point, you know, just... Oh, we love PC Cast. So, the next one. A book that made me want to travel. Now, don't take this the wrong way, but I'm gonna say Kingdom of the Wicked. Now, I'm not saying I want to go down. Well, do I want to? I mean, if a demon daddy wants to go, I'm serious. I'm not joking. I'm not. No. I don't need a demon prince to come pick me up. I don't need that as well. But I mainly picked this one because it's set in Sicily. And our main character runs a restaurant with her twin sister and her parents, and cooking and food, you know, just plays a huge part in this. And it made me want to travel to Italy and just live on pasta. That's all I want. Like, I've been to Italy maybe twice in my life, 2 different places. I've been to Rome, and we stopped for a day on our cruise to Taranto, and like there's so many different places in Italy that I want to go to. I just want to go the whole length of the boot, do you know what I mean? And yeah, and Sicily obviously as well included, but yeah, love it. And the next one, a book that gave me all the feels. Now, depending on those feels, the way you're talking about, I'm gonna say Once Upon a Broken Heart by Miss Stephanie Garber. And when I say the feels, this was an emotional roller coaster that I genuinely wasn't prepared for. Like, I randomly picked it up, and you see all the yellow tabs in there. If you know how I annotate my books, I use a yellow tab for when something shocks me, or for like or for something happens that makes me go, oof, like that. Like, the amount of times I did that while reading this. And I know a lot of people will probably roll their eyes and be like, oh, it wasn't that good. Shh. Just shh. I don't want to hear it. But like the emotional roller coaster, like I said, that I went through reading this was that and then some. And then I immediately got the sequel. And then I read that, and then having to wait those 2-3 months for the 3rd book to come out was absolute torture. It was torture. Like, but oh, I love the series so much. And anything else that Stephanie Garber comes out with in the future, I shall be reading. And the very last one is a book I wish I hadn't read. And I can't show you said book because I don't own it physically, but that would be The Bride Test by Helen Huang. And I made a video discussing that book and all the things that I don't like about it and why I wish that I could purge it from my brain. It was way over a year ago. I mean, if you're able to find it on my channel, I think the title of it is just like The Bride Test, a discussion or something, or a rant review on The Bride Test or something like that. Oh, I very rarely say I hate a book, but I hated that book. I wish that I could purge all of that from my memory. That book was Anyway. Watch that, be the screenshot. Anyway, I think that is the last question, is it? Okay, that's the last little question. So I got all of these from a blog called ZZ with Books. I'll leave the link for the tag down below, but if you want to answer any of the prompts yourself, just in the comments, you know, let me know what's a book you wish you hadn't read. What is a book you wish you could just purge from your memory and never think about again? Let me know in the comments. What could be the emoji for the day? Leave the sparkle emoji down in the comments if you want. And yeah, all my socials will be down below as always: Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Subscribe if you haven't already, ring the bell, leave a like, let the algorithm know that you like me. And I will see you in my next video, which will be next Tuesday. So I'll see you then. Bye.